Hey everyone, welcome back to ML Works. In this video, we'll understand knife base with an example. So, what is knife base? So, consider you want to classify an email whether it is a spam or not spam. Now, you send this problem statement to knife base algorithm and it raises a simple question, which is given the words in the email, what is the probability that the email is a spam? Now we'll be understanding how the knife base answers this specific question. Consider you have trained a knife base algorithm on a bunch of emails and you found some patterns where the spam mail contains words like win, free, offer and price. And similarly, you find a pattern for non-spam mails. It contains words like meeting, project and schedule. Now, based on this understanding of spam and non-spam, consider you have a new mail arriving with the words win a free prize now. You send this mail to the trained knife based model which contains or which understands the pattern of spam and non-spam. Now, based on these words, it says, now I remember these are the words that often appear in the spam mail. Then you must be a spam. This is how knife base makes a prediction for spam mail. Now let's understand the big idea behind knife base, which is Bayes theorem. So we know the formula for Bayes theorem is P of A given B is equal to P of B given A into P of A divided by P of B. Now let's understand each component. So P of A given B is the probability of A given B is present. So what it translates to in our spam classification is probability of a spam mail given the word free appears in our mail. Similarly, we have P of B given A, which is the probability of B given A, which translates to probability the word free appears given the mail is spam. Now this is known as posterior probability, which is the technical term for P of A given B. Then we have likelihood, which is the P of B given A. Now let's understand what is P of A and P of B. So P of A is the probability of A, which represents fraction of all mails that are spam. So here, consider you have around 10 mails in your inbox, out of which 4 of them are spam. So the probability of a spam is equal to 0.4, which is nothing but 4 divided by 10, which results in 0.4. Now this is known as prior probability. Now let's understand what is P of B, which is the probability of B, which represents the probability of seeing the word free in your mails. So here consider again you have 10 mails, and if 3 spam mails contain word free, then we have probability of free is equal to 0.3. So this is our marginal likelihood. So now we understood each component of Bayes theorem. Let's apply that on a data set. So consider we have 3 mails and their corresponding label, where this mail represents spam, this one represents spam, and this specific one represents a non-spam. Now we have a new data arriving, which is win, offer, now. Now you have to classify whether this new mail is spam or not. Now first what we have to do is we have to count the spam and non-spam mail. So we know this is our data set, and based on this data set we have 2 spam mails and 1 non-spam mail. In total we have 3 mails. Now we can calculate the prior probability with the help of this data, where P of spam is equal to 2 by 3, where 2 represents the spam mail and 3 represents the total mails. Similarly, for probability of non-spam, we have 1 by 3, which is 1 divided by 3. Now comes our create word frequency. Since we can see each mail contains 3 words, our word count is 3 for all mails. So next comes our vocabulary where we have all these different words present, and in total we have totally 9 unique words. Now let's talk about how the words and the label are related with the help of probability score. So this is our input, which is win, offer, now. So the probability of the word win in a spam mail. So we have seen in our data set, if you go back here in this mail, we have the word win, and the rest of the mails we don't have the word win. So what is the probability of the word win in spam mail? So to calculate this, we have this formula where probability of the word given as spam is equal to count of the word plus 1. Now this plus 1 represents the Laplace smoothing, because in a testing data set there might be a chance to have a unique word which is not present in the training data set. So this may lead to the numerator becoming 0. That's why we need to add plus 1 in numerator. And in the denominator we have total spam words plus vocabulary size. So for the word win, count of win in spam is 1. Total spam words is total is 6. So we have 2 mails, 3 words in each mail which are spam. And then we have vocabulary size of 9, which includes spam and non-spam mails. So the probability of the word win appearing in a spam mail is equal to 1 plus 1 divided by 6 plus 9, which is 2 by 15. Similarly, we have to make the probability of offer in a spam mail. Similarly, we have probability of the word now in spam mail. So for that, we have probability of offer given as spam is equal to 2 by 15. Probability of now given as spam is 2 by 15. Now similarly, we have to identify whether these words appear in non-spam as well. So what is the probability of the word win in non-spam mail? We know that we have win 0 times appearing in non-spam mail. So the count is 0 and total non-spam words are totally 3 and vocabulary size is 9. Then the probability of win in a non-spam mail is 0 plus 1 divided by 12, which is equal to 1 by 12. Similarly, we have to do the same for offer and now. So here we get probability of offer given the mail is non-spam is equal to 1 by 12. Probability of the word now given the mail is non-spam is also equal to 1 by 12. Now we have to make the final prediction. For spam, what we have is probability of spam given the individual words and their corresponding probability with respect to spam. So we know spam is 2 by 3 and then probability of win given as spam is 2 by 15, likewise for offer and now. So we multiply this, we get our final result. Then comes our non-spam score, where probability of non-spam is 1 by 3 and probability of win appearing in non-spam, probability of offer appearing in non-spam, and probability of now appearing in non-spam, which is 1 by 12, 1 by 12 and 1 by 12, which leads to the score of 0.00019. We know P of spam is 0.00316. We know P of non-spam is 0.00019, which means spam score is greater than non-spam score. Hence, the prediction is spam for the new mail, which is win offer now. Why is the naive Bayes called as naive? Because naive Bayes assumes that the features in the mail are independent in our use case. What it means is, consider your email contains free and price. The naive Bayes thinks maybe these words are unrelated and they have their independence. They all contribute towards the final prediction individually. But in real life, we know that these words are related, because we know from our understanding of text that the words are clustered together when we try to project them on 2D space. So this assumption is kind of wrong, but still this works greatly in real time. So what did Bayes theorem actually did? So our problem statement was probability that the email is spam given the words, which is turns out to be P of spam given the words. So the words are win free now. Now we take this statement and send it to Bayes theorem that converts that problem statement into probability of words given spam into probability of spam divided by probability of words. Now this probability of words given spam is nothing but a combination of each word given the spam. Word 1 in the spam, word 2 in the spam individually, and we multiply each of them together. So all the words when offer now all contribute independently, which is the basic assumption made by the Naive-Bayes theorem. So we are at the end of this video. I hope you understood what exactly Naive-Bayes theorem is and how it is able to make this assumption about the data and makes the probability calculation for the given input. So with that, I'll be concluding this video. Thank you for watching.